Hey, what are you doing?
What was that?
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm examining this kitty cat.
You should be doing that on the other side of the wall. Veterinary clinic's over there, brother.
Well, I understand that, but this is the coin shop. And a good veterinarian can always find the money in when he's examining the cat. Like, look right here. Oh, look right there. Oh my God.
I'll be. Good Lord, man.
Welcome to London Coin and Collectables. Once again, I'm here with the delectable, delicious, wonderful. I'm running out of adjectives, Brother Mike.
I'm just old Mike. Amen.
I'm just old Mike.
I do want to let y'all know there was no kittens hurt in the making of that part of the video.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. But here we are. How you been today?
Man, I've been doing good. It's good to see you.
It feels like we ain't got to do one of these videos in a while out there. So
well,
we're getting close to giving away a gold coin, though.
I went on vacation, and you went on revival, and then you caught the flu.
From the revival, yeah. It's been an interesting 2 weeks.
So it's been a little while, but we're back, and we wanted to share some stuff with you this evening about London Coin. And yes, you went ahead and threw the spoiler out there. We're just about ready to give away a gold coin because we have hit 82 subscribers, so we're only 18 away from giving away that coin. Yeah,
I've never been excited to give away money until now.
Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. I know that there are a lot of great coin channels out there. There's a lot of great men that have been doing coin videos for decades, if not longer. Right. And they're a lot more knowledgeable, but I guarantee you one thing they don't do. They don't have near as much fun.
I don't know. You'd be hard to beat us in fun, area.
That is absolutely true. I believe we are number one in the fun.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
So, if you want to get a hold of Brother Mike, again, 606-401-7025. You can call or text him, and he is just, the shop is doing great. Thank you all so very much for coming down and supporting London Coin and Collectables. And we have started a coin club. You can find that at London Coin and Collectables Coin Club on Facebook. If you'd like to come over and join us, we're working on our very first meeting.
Yes, we are.
So be patient with us. We're still working out a place where we can meet, and we hope that you will come out and join us for that coin club. We'll do some interesting educational things with coins. We'll do an auction with coins there, and we'll
valuation of coins, trading of coins. If it's got to do with numismatics, we want you to come and be a part of it. We're going to have a lot going on there.
Yeah, that's right. So exciting things to come. However, tonight, without further ado, Brother Mike, what you got for us this evening?
I've got Confederate money.
Oh my heavens!
No, we're doing the current
money.
Yeah, currency, not coins. So we don't have any coins to display. But the whole thing is going to be on Confederacy.
Okay.
Tonight. So I wanted to show some different types of Confederate money. I want to talk a little bit about Confederate money and some great historical facts of our country is that we had Confederate money.
Oh, we did have some Confederate money.
Yes.
I know nothing about Confederate money except that you can't take it to the bank and cash it.
No, you cannot do that. No,
it's totally a numismatic value. Correct?
Totally numismatic. Yeah, you can't trade it. It has to be something that you can bring in to someone like me who will give you a very fair price for it. Then I will turn around and find someone like you, and you can buy it so you can trade with me. If you've got a bill you're missing, if you're looking for a certain type of number on the Confederate money, you got to come to somebody that deals with the banks do not carry it.
There you go. Now,
unless there's some bank I don't know about.
I would guess that Confederate money, like everything else to deal with the Confederacy and the Civil War in the United States, a great pivotal point of study, a great pivotal point in history of the United States. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that the currency has a very rich and sordid and detailed history as well.
And diverse, very diverse too. So yes, so of course, obviously, when we talk about Confederate money, we're talking about Civil War era splitting of the nations, or splitting of one nation when the Confederacy was trying to withdraw themselves from the Union, and whenever doing so, because they had made such a strong stand of holding back their farming goods and their services and the industrial side of the North, so you had a split literally down the line. That started to affect the day ins and day outs of trading and buying and selling. So what they did is they came up with a currency much similar to what we already have as American money today. They just turned it into a Confederate exchange that was really unique because I don't have a whole lot of different type of examples. But what you are going to find is as you get into the Confederate money, it's not just as simple as finding, say, $100 bill like this one. Now, yes, they did make the $100 bills, and this right here is for the Confederate States of America, and it's just like a $100 bill today. It would stand good for your goods, but also they have bills that were not just routine in their currency as far as $50. You may have a bill that what they used to call a cotton note. And a cotton note at that time, because cotton was such a large industry here in America, is that you would have a cotton note, and what that cotton note was you were able to spend it because it was a promise of so much of your cotton at the end of your harvesting time. So the trade got very interesting because you had so much that the government was willing to stand for your cotton. You had to give proof that you had that, and so then you started even after that you started developing individual states that were starting to issue their own currency because of the inconsistency because of just war going on at the time.
Has a lot of Civil War currency survived the past 100 and something years?
No, unfortunately, been a lot of fakes that have been out there. We're going to talk some more about what to look for on fake money that comes out in the Confederacy. But no, with the Civil War ending, and of course the nation trying to heal back as one union, and they started going back to using the same currency. What they did is they would run through, and some of the Confederate money you'll read on there, and it's more of a post Civil War money. It'll state that it stands good for this amount, and even they let that money run for a little bit versus it being a $50 bill. It would just stand good for $50. And so when that started to fade out, then they destroyed a lot of it. A lot of the banks burnt the notes. They weren't good. I'm happy that there was people that decided to really reserve history even back in those days, and they put these bills up, and we got some very nice detailed bills here, but no, there was not a whole lot of Confederate money that survived.
So
coinage even rarer.
Even coinage is even rare, yeah. So where was the mint in the Confederacy?
That's one of the things. So you may get an Alabama. We think of mint, we think of Philadelphia and Denver and New Orleans. There may have been something came out of New Orleans. I have seen different mints as far as on here, but like this one here was for Columbia, South Carolina. And let's see if I got a different mintage that was on here. So this one here, it looks like this was a Richmond, Virginia. So you've literally had different states that they sanctioned. And of course, now one of them being, we know there's Alabama notes and things like that. So it was a total different time of who was printing money. And I guess really, I hate to say it like this, but I guess it was really who had the money to print money.
Okay.
Because when toward the end of the war, you have to understand the South was ravished. It was pretty well burnt to the ground.
Yeah.
So wherever they could print money, it was. It's why you see so many different types of state currency.
So what is the paper? What is the composition of this? I'm sure it's not like our modern day money.
No, it's not much different, but it is more of a cotton felt money. It is not like our money today with a lot of the fancy paper and stuff. This is the reason that a lot of counterfeiters are able to make this money is because it is an easier paper to counterfeit. So a lot of things what you look for whenever you got somebody that tells you they have a Confederate bill, if you see on the back here where the lines are not perfectly straight, these were not machine cut; these were hand cut. So whenever you look at these and you see these cut, they're not going to be perfect. That's some things to look for. Also, you'll see that a lot of these bills we have with an authenticator that comes with them. I recommend this because these are so easy to copy. What's the word?
So easy to copy.
If the person that would be
the counterfeitor.
Yeah, counterfeiter. So it'd be very easy to copy if a counterfeiter was to put a lot of effort in, because this is more of your more traditional cotton paper. This is not something that's got ink lines or an invisible strip in it. It is something that when you look at these, they're pretty basic. And even with the cuts wouldn't be perfect. Now, if you have somebody that comes up and they show you a Confederate bill like this and they say, hey, I've got one, like sell it, there is some things to look for. But at the end of the day, really, it takes a real good trained professional looking at the ink lines and things. And I'll let you know, I can't even look at the ink lines and tell you if it's a proper stamp versus somebody who's been numismatically trained to actually take a look at the bill.
Fantastic. So you have some Confederate money here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that, of course, authenticating it affects the value, but can you grade those bills just like you would other numismatics?
Oh yeah, the same grading scale. So you'll have your good to your very good to your fine to your very fine. So these will run right up that line. And of course, crazy enough, they have some of these that are uncirculated. So this one here, but now this here again, grading is very subjective at times. But what you have to understand is the people that do grade these, they look at different varieties and they try to come up with the best system of grading. So you have something like this. I want you to take a real good close to this 20, and they call this a very fine. But then you take something that's missing half of its top of the head and it's got a tear in it, and they give this an AU. Because once again, they're looking at the year, they're looking at when it was actually produced and everything that went on in this nation since then, and where the paper would be at and what the quality would be at that time.
Fantastic. Well, that's very interesting. Again, do you have a lot of people who collect Confederate money?
There's a lot of people out there. They're very hesitant to who they buy from, though, because I'll tell you this. There was one guy that told me he bought a stack of Confederate money, and whenever he got to the house, it looked right. It was even cut wrong, but then on very small print on the very back, it said this is a copy, or it would be like this came from the down at Perryville Battlefield here in Kentucky. You can go into the little trinket store they have, and it'll say property of Perryville Battlefield. So you really have to look at what you're getting when it comes to Confederate money. So there is a lot of people who collects it, but they're hesitant what they buy. That's why you want somebody who's reputable. You know where they're at. So if there is a problem, once again, this goes back to why it's so important to have a numismatic friend that can help you to look at things, and because that way you know what you're getting is authentic history in the case of this.
So what kind of value is associated with these bills?
Well, it's like anything else. It goes all the way back to grade. It goes back to the grade. It goes back to the print, the copy, the year. And when you look at these, $100 bill like this with the grade on here, this will fall more around the extra fine. This is more of a $150 note or $150 value for a $100 note. But if you get something that is in the AU of this, or even grabs the MS rate, it's one of those things that jumps up to it starts talking thousands of dollars. So each one, when you have something, don't just write off and say, well, mine's just a $20 note or $5 note. It could be even ration money from the Civil War. You can sell a ration note that's 5 cents, and it could be worth $20, $30, $40 depending on the grade. You really need to have it looked at, see what kind of grade you're looking at, and that'll be the way to assess the value.
Fantastic. So, well, with that said, you do have quite a variety of Confederate money that if somebody's interested, they could come down and buy it, right?
Right, yes.
Take a look at it, hold it in their hands if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, check it out. And that's the great thing about a lot of this stuff, that even if you're not interested in buying, or maybe you don't have the money to buy, this is so worth coming by just to look at, to hold. This is the history of our nation. This is what shaped us into the country we are today. And, you can't go back and ever get this money again. There's no such thing as this is going to come out of a printing press of one of our offices. So this is history you get to hold in your hand. This is something that is now going on 150 years old, or almost 160 years old actually. So I highly recommend that if you've never saw this, please feel free to come down to the shop. You're not obligated to buy it. I love talking about it. So if you'd like to just come in and see it, hold a little bit of history in hand, it's here to hold.
I do think the artistry and the art that is on these Confederate notes is pretty incredible.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, they really went out of their way to make pretty money, did they not?
They really held with a lot of the traditional bills that you really saw kind of pre-Civil War for the Union. Some of like what we call our educational money, our Black Eagles, those very illustrated, well-designed bills. I mean, these are really, really, really well-designed bills. I mean, they've got monuments on them. They have scenes in them. I mean, they are very well detailed. I mean, and what I really like about this, when you look at the history of this, the history is that it's held together, and you can still. It's like looking in a time machine, if you would. I know it's kind of corny, but it is. I mean, you look back. This is what was going on in the age, in the date when they printed them, and I think that's amazing that we're able to do so.
It's very amazing, actually. It's mind-boggling, really, to think that this paper money has survived in this good shape, and the stories that this money can tell, and the things that it has survived through. So, very collectible. And if you're interested in counterfeit money, come down and see
Confederate. Confederate.
Oh, well, I thought you said counterfeit earlier.
I said counterfeit.
Counterfeit. Counterfeit's what we don't sell. We probably find this one. But
so if you're interested in Confederate money,
there you go.
If you're interested in that history, come on down to London Coin and Collectables and see Brother Mike. He'll set you up. I know he will.
I would love for you just to be able to see it. It's something that you really have to experience for yourself to understand the history behind a lot of the stuff that we have in this store. It's incredible.
Fantastic. All right. Get a hold of him, 606-401-7025, LondonCoinbuyer@gmail.com.
That's right.
What else you got?
Well, we got eBay.
eBay?
Yeah,
London
Coinbuyer.
Londoncoinbuyer. That's right, on eBay. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we got that changed finally.
Yeah, all right. Good.
Facebook.
London
YouTube.
Coin Collectables.
You're
And
on there.
like
and by
and
the way,
share,
like
all
and
good
share
stuff.
and join. We're just a few. You might be one of them that gets the gold coin. That'd be
You got
nice.
one in 100
Christmas time. Yeah, that's pretty good odds. Get a gold coin in there.
It is. All right. Any last words?
Nope. Just thank you all thank you to everybody that's been supporting this channel, and also that's been coming down here and supporting the store. I just want to tell you from the bottom of my heart, I'm very thankful what the Lord's doing here, and I just want to thank you guys for being part of it.
Only got one last thing to say.
That's
London
we'll
coin
end it
and
right
London
here.
coin, hurrah, hurrah.
$100 bill right here that I don't know why it's not in plastic. But this is an actual Confederate $100 bill. This was what I was explaining to you all, is when I actually showed this to you all already, but I didn't realize this was the bill I was explaining about. So this actually is what we call the leftover currency. This is, you'll actually see here, it says 2 years after ratification of the treaty peace between the Confederate and the United States of America. So this is one of what we call the final phasing out of the Confederate money.